What's going on, guys? My name's Jonathan. Today we are going to discuss what went down at DC Fandome. So last year's event, I'll confess, I didn't watch in length either last year's Fandome or this year's Fandome. But just like last year, I caught all the trailers afterwards. And a lot of people were disappointed in how the Fandome went down this year. They said that it was really long and packed with filler. Overall, a lot of the reaction was negative for how long of an event it was and how little the content that they got this year. Today we're going to focus more on the content that we did get. The trailers, more specifically. Not just for the movies, but also we're going to dabble and touch on the video games just a little bit. So we'll start with Shazam! Fury of the Gods. A lot of people thought it was an interesting choice casting Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren as villains. Personally, I don't have a problem with it. I think that Lucy Liu is a phenomenal actress. She's great in lots of other action films. So why not cast her and bring her into this DC universe? I think that she'll be a great fit for the role. Helen Mirren has also been in the Red films. I'm not a big fan of those personally, but she's a seasoned actress and maybe she can bring something new to the table. So we didn't really get a whole lot from Shazam. The movie's not coming out until 2023. Personally, I haven't seen anything for this film yet that's just got me super hyped. I'm almost in the minority here when I say that I didn't absolutely love the first Shazam film. I thought there was some redeemable qualities about it. There was some cool aspects to it. But overall, the film for me just wasn't anything like super spectacular. So I'm still waiting to be impressed by DC and Warner Brothers on this film. Next, we'll talk about Peacemaker. This looks very fun and irreverent. I wouldn't expect anything less from James Gunn and John Cena. The trailer looks good overall. It's kind of funny. It starts off with the janitor talking to John Cena, and he's like, you know, I'm a superhero. And the janitor's like, that's not a real superhero, Peacemaker. I've never heard of that. So I think that overall that looks like it could be fun. And also the fact that he has a pet eagle is hilarious. And the eagle's hugging him in the trailer. And he's like, hey, Dad, can you get my phone? I don't want to move. It's going to be an HBO Max TV series. So yeah, color me excited. I can't wait to see it. Anything that James Gunn's name is attached to, I'm going to watch and check out. So we'll see how it plays out. Also, it looks like he's fighting TDK in the trailer. I'm not 100% sure on that. But the costume of the guy that we see him fighting in the trailer looks very similar to TDK. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know whether or not if I'm a dummy or if that is in fact TDK. Next, we'll talk about Black Adam. We didn't get much here either. Other than Black Adam's intro in the film, it looks like the first scene that we're kind of introduced to Black Adam. And man, he looks intense. I mean, he grabs that guy by the neck and electrocutes the guy until he's basically like a skeleton. It almost reminded me of something from Mortal Kombat. I think that The Rock is made for this role. Whether or not his personality outweighs or his celebrity outweighs the character itself, we'll have to wait and see. But honestly, I'm very excited to see this. A lot of the sets in this film too look epic. I mean, they kind of gave us a glimpse of some of the large... It almost looks like ancient era Egyptian, like large scale, massive sets. So it'll be interesting to see. We also got to meet some of the supporting cast, or at least a small little glimpse. Hawkman, Cyclone, Atom Smasher, and Dr. Fate. I'm pretty excited about Pierce Brosnan making an appearance as Dr. Fate. We'll see what happens with this film. We're going to talk about the games just a little bit. So Arkham Knights looks fun. It looks like it's set in the Arkham Asylum universe. I like those games a lot. I had a lot of fun with them. So we'll see what happens. It's kind of interesting that they took Batman completely out of the game and the Court of Owls will be the primary antagonist. It looks fun. I'm really excited to see how the Suicide Squad game pans out. It looks like Brainiac has basically arrived on Earth and taken over the minds of Superman and a lot of our other favorite heroes, Flash, Green Lantern, and the Suicide Squad are faced with fighting the Justice League. So that'll be interesting to see. I think that that'll be a fun game as well. We didn't get much for the Flash. It was you could barely call it a teaser. We got a flamboyant Ezra Miller wearing a choker introducing the video for us. And we didn't really get a whole lot. We did get a small, tiny glimpse of Michael Keaton as Batman. We didn't really see his face in the cowl or anything. We just saw the back of his head. And he walked into the Batcave, and we see two different versions of Ezra Miller's Flash, along with, which I'm really excited to see, the new version of Supergirl in this cinematic universe. And they're kind of, you know, it looks like they're going to have to team up with Michael Keaton's Batman. From what little we did get, I'm still really excited about this project. I think that Warner Brothers and DC are still holding things close to their chest for this one. I like that new 52 costume that we see Ezra Miller wearing. The new 52 Flash costume looks really cool. I feel like this is going to be a giant scale team up epic movie, and they just haven't revealed anything other than, you know, the few things that we've seen so far. So yeah, I'm very excited about this one. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So here, once again, we got more behind the scenes footage. This film looks like it's still a long ways away from being completely finished. I love Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I think he's great for that role. One exciting thing to me is the fact that DC is bringing back their villains from the first movie. A lot of times Marvel kind of just kills their villains off and we never hear or see from them again. It's really exciting to see that we're going to continue to build on Black Manta. We're going to continue to build on Ocean Master. And these villains are going to continue to elevate along with Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. So I'm excited that DC is doing that. They're bringing these villains back rather than just killing them and us never hearing from them again. Now it's time for the main event, okay? This Batman trailer looked epic. A lot of people are praising the cinematography, and rightfully so. I mean, it looks phenomenal. There's a lot of scenes and cuts that look like they're just straight out of a comic book. Initially, I had some small reservations with Robert Pattinson playing Batman. I still do, but he looks good. Yes, he's a little bit more of a slender version of Batman, but Batman doesn't need to be this bulky Arnold Schwarzenegger type of individual. He needs to be like, you know, agile and quick and able to go in and out of a scenario really fast. I think that Robert Pattinson looks great from what we've seen so far. Zoe Kravitz looks good. I wish we could see more of her costume. We didn't really see a whole lot. I guess we didn't see her with her cowl on. You know, it's crazy that that's Colin Farrell playing Penguin. Had I not known that before, he is literally unrecognizable. So, and one interesting thing that someone brought up, someone else that I watch on YouTube brought this up the other day. This trailer is almost like it's the perspective of the villains, right? They are literally in terror and fear of this Batman individual. And you see that fear. That translates so well from the screen right to your brain. The ending shot of the trailer is upside down, and you see an Oswald Cobblepot, who in this movie apparently doesn't want to be called the Penguin yet, is in utter fear and just straight sheer terror of the Batman. You know, he thought he had lost him and he got excited. Then out of nowhere, Batman's new Batmobile, which by the way, we need to talk about that too, just comes bursting out of the flames. His happy look goes straight to in terror. I love everything about this trailer. I cannot wait to see the film. I love the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. I didn't think that it was possible to get darker and grittier than what we already got from those films, but from what we've seen from the trailers so far in this new Batman film, it looks way darker, way grittier. I cannot wait to see this film. And for those of you who are saying, we've already had enough Batman movies, blah, blah, blah. No, we haven't. That's impossible. You can never have enough Batman films. This looks phenomenal. Cannot wait to see it. And the new Batmobile, it almost harkens back to a 1960s Adam West Batman era Batmobile. You know, some of the more modern interpretations of the Batmobile have been more bulky. Seems like they've gotten bigger and bigger and bigger since, from Keaton all the way up to Christian Bale and Ben Affleck, they continue to evolve more into a straight up tank rather than a car. I'm excited to see something different. And I think that it looks cool. So that's my initial reaction from DC Fandome. Like I said, a lot of the fans that watched the whole thing in its entirety said it was really boring. I didn't do that. I just caught all the trailers after it was already over. And from everything that I saw, I thought we saw some really cool stuff in there. So overall, I think that the trailers that we got were pretty good. We could have gotten a little more. I'm not sure how far along in development the Flash film is. I felt like we could have got a little more there. Also, maybe a little bit more with Aquaman, but I know some of these movies have barely started shooting, so we can't ask for too much. But overall, I like what I saw, and I'm excited to see more from DC. I can't wait to see the Batman. The Batman looks awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You can check us out on Facebook. You can also look us up on Instagram at Real Comic Book Cinema. Until next time, have a good day.